Hey guys, what's up? It's your girl Nicole, back at it again with another video. Welcome to Real Talk Recovery, where we talk about recovery from addiction, and I share my life with you. My name's Nicole, and I'm an addict, and every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, or 6:30 today, we come on and we do big book study. Now, if you're not familiar with what the Big Book is, I'm going to tell you about it. The Big Book was written back in 1934 by Bill W. and a bunch of other alcoholics. And it is basically the 12 steps, only in a book. It's the 12 steps and how to work them. It's also a collection of like stories from addicts and alcoholics in the back. Well, alcoholics. And they share their experience, strength, and hope in the back. So what we're going to do today is we're going to read chapter 4, We Agnostics. And, yeah, that's where we left off. We hadn't even started this chapter yet. So, hey, Derek, what's up? Yes, so you will like this chapter. It's all about the agnostic person and how that agnostic people do not have to have a belief in God, okay? So the whole premise behind the 12 steps is building a relationship with a power greater than you, right? Well, when a lot of people hear that, you guys, they automatically assume that that power has to be God, right? And I'm here to tell you, it doesn't. It doesn't have to be God. It can be, and the way Bill W. talked about it, back when we did Bill's story, remember when Bill W. was talking to, when Ebby came over to talk to Bill about how he had gotten sober. And Bill was like, I'm not religious. Hey, Angel. And Ebby was like, you don't have to be religious. It's your own conception of God, okay? So I have some girls who they believe in nature or the universe. I have some people who, shout out Tim, he believes in altruism, okay? Which is, which he says he believes in love as his higher power. So it's all different, you guys. And I wanted to share with you guys this chapter specifically because I know a lot of you struggle with the whole concept of God in the 12 steps. And I just want you to know that you don't have to believe in Jesus Christ to be able to work the 12 steps and do the program, okay? So that's why we're going to start this. Hey, Derek, what's up, man? Yeah, I'm in Arkansas, so I totally understand. Totally understand. That's just, and Mississippi is so much they're still so far behind. I mean, Arkansas is too, but I know the South is crazy. It's like a whole nother, when you come down to states that are down here, like, Arkansas, Florida, Mississippi, Missouri, it's like such a different time zone, you guys. Okay, so are y'all ready? I'm going to start now. Getting medical help. I'm actually, like, totally, I just didn't realize, I just realized how many, comments are getting held for review on my last video, you guys. And so I hate when YouTube does that. Okay. You will see in the next few years. Okay. So let's start reading. I'm sorry about that. I got kind of locked into that comment right there. So I texted Sonia. Now, I don't know if you guys know this, but Sonia, what she does is she makes copies of all the readings for me. So that way, if you guys want to read along with us, you can. So I sent her a little message to let her know that I was coming on early. And let me tell you guys, we'll chat for a second before I get into the reading, so that way we can give people time to get here. The reason I wanted to go on early is because Neil gets off at 7, and so I was thinking, when he gets home, we can all hang out, me, him, and Nate, and just spend time together. You know, the way our schedules are right now is my husband, it goes into work at either 9 o'clock in the morning or noon. And then he doesn't get home until the evening time. And I work all during the day, you know. And so if I have a little bit of time with him, like in the evening around 7, that's like ideal for us to be able to like hang out and talk and stuff, you know. So that's the whole reason why I was like, I'm going to jump on early really fast. Also, you guys, like, the channel we have went from, let's talk about this too. I want to tell you guys, because you guys are helping me grow my channel. Like, your word of mouth is getting around. Like, you guys have been inviting people to the channel, and you can tell because the channel's growing. So let me tell you what happened. We have went, so let's see. Okay. We have gained, let me see, social. Hey guys. Hey Cindy. What's up, girl? You guys, I called Cindy yesterday, and she was like, I can't believe you just called me. And I was like, yeah, why? Cindy, I have to tell you this. You're not the only person who said that to me before. I call people to check on them and make sure they're doing okay. And so I cannot tell you how many times, okay, that I have called somebody and they have like been in a bad place, and then we talked on the phone. But it was like, I'm going to tell you right now, there's something inside of me that tells me to call you guys. You know, I don't have a schedule like I call A, B, C, D, and E on these dates. I just reach out to y'all when I think I need to. And I'm going to be honest, it's an intuition inside of me. It's a spirit. Something speaks to me on another level. And so I was at work yesterday, and I was doing the cards, and I just thought, I hadn't talked to Cindy Briggs. I need to call her and check on her. And so I did. And so that's what I'm telling you guys, though. It's like, it's an intuition, and it's a little voice in my head. And I'm really in touch with that voice. Now, when I was in active addiction, I totally would blank that voice out. I wouldn't listen to that intuition, that inside consciousness, you know? And so now, girl, you can call me anytime. Just call me. Just call me, girl. I'm usually by the phone. I have it on me all the time. I'm usually listening to my SoundCloud music while I'm at work. Rings and I answer it. But so here's the tea, you guys. That voice. Hey Bradley, what's up? I'm so glad you got to make it to a live stream. Yay! Welcome to the channel, man. So there's a voice inside of you guys, okay? And that's what it is. It's a voice. I don't know any other way to explain it to you. That it's intuition. It's a conscious, like you know how you have like the angel on this side and the devil on this side, right? It's like my inner spirit. I don't know what to call it, but it's in there. And I used to hear it all the time before I started doing drugs, right? When I was little, I got to tell you guys this. When I was a little girl, before I ever started getting high, I was always so afraid of my mom and dad getting hurt, of them wrecking their cars, of people like carjacking them, or them having an accident on the interstate, or someone breaking into our house, right? I would have these premonitions almost about my mom driving home on this road that we used to take all the time when we were little. When I lived in Hot Springs, it was an old road called Amity Road. And I remember I would tell my mom not to take that road anymore because I was afraid that she was going to get into an accident on that road, you know. And so I was always in a state of worry when I would think these things, right? I was always afraid that my mom and dad were going to get hurt, that I was going to get kidnapped, that someone was going to come and take me. And then I would see a license plate number. You guys, I'm not even lying to you about this. Okay, but I was always like seeing things, like foreshadowing things, you know, seeing things before they would come into it come and happen. Well, that voice was so strong when I was younger, so strong. And it kept me out of quite a few, you know, bad predicaments. Well, as I got older, you guys, I started to like not listen to that voice. I started to like block it out. I started to like just get high, you know, get high. But I'm telling you, like, there was many times where I would be in situations that I just felt I shouldn't be there, and I would doubt, you know. But the older I got and the more deeper into drugs I got, the more I just kind of pulled away from listening to that inner self. You know what I mean? But now that I've gotten sober and I'm working so hard on getting to know myself, getting to love myself, learning about why I used drugs for so many years. Why was I getting high? What was I running from? Why did I want to check out of life? Why was I so afraid and sad and miserable in the inside? Like, why was I doing that to myself? You know, because I didn't start using drugs because I got hooked up by the doctor. Like, I started using drugs to party with my friends. As a young girl, I was like 17 years old. I started getting high and doing cocaine and doing methamphetamine. Like, I sure I got opiates from the doctor and I got hooked on them then, but like that's not how it all started out. You know what I mean? It started out because I was getting high to kick it. I was partying. And so it's like now that I have gotten in tune with me and I'm learning about, like, you guys, I'm very, very emotional, very, very sensitive. And I know how I feel when I feel a certain way. You know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly how it started, you guys. Like, I was just young. I was in high school. Everybody was getting fucked up when I was younger, you know? And so I was too. But what happened was they all got fucked up and then stopped. And I got fucked up and never stopped, you know? I started getting high when I was 17 and I didn't get sober until 32 years old. I mean, that's a lot of time using drugs. And so I just try to like think, what was it that I was going through internally that was like telling me it was okay to do that, you know? And it was that I had lost, I totally blocked out that inside voice, you know, because I knew that getting high wasn't good for me. I knew that drugs were not good and that they were harming my body. I absolutely knew they were harming my mind. But it was like the addiction and the pull that substances had on me was so strong. I couldn't shake it. And I know a lot of you guys are women, and you guys can probably relate to this. It's like when you're a woman and you get hooked on something like that, especially something that boosts your mood, gives you energy, makes you feel pretty, like you're losing weight and stuff. It's like you don't want to stop that, you know? And so for a woman, I feel like that stronghold is just like so, it's just like 10 times worse. And they talk about that. What's up, baby?
I want something to eat.
Okay. Can you let me finish the class?
No!
Nathaniel?
I don't have to listen to you.
Come on, I'm going to make you a bowl of cereal. Go. Come here. Come get it. You're taking it. Come here. You want milk in it? Okay, do you want milk in it? Okay. Come here. Let me get it, little boy. Just have 2 pieces of pizza. Here. Here, Chingy Pop. Here, Nate. Okay, guys, sorry about that. Okay. I have a growing boy on my hands. He'll eat us out of house and home. He just had 3 pieces of pizza. 5 minutes later, he comes down here. So I just gave him some cereal. Like, son. But he stays skinny. He's got like a really fast metabolism. I wish I had that. So, anyway, it all started out, you guys, as me being young, okay? Young and immature. I didn't have the proper tools to live life, right? And then I added drugs on top of immaturity, insecurity, low self-worth, no self-love. And that created the perfect storm, And so drugs became my best friend. Drugs became my confidence. Drugs became my love. And when you go from the time you were 17 till 32 in using drugs like that, it's like it stunts you mentally. My mental maturity, like now, I swear to God, you guys, like I'm 17 years old still. Like I'm learning how to be an adult. I'm learning how to take care of myself, So, anyway, I just wanted to share that with you guys. So, chapter 4, We Agnostics, I'm going to start reading, and you guys know how I do it. I'll stop, and I'll just kind of like, say a little bit about each part that I like really get into. And then we're only going to do page 44, 45, 46, and we'll stop on page 47. I think we'll read it all the way through. Yeah, we'll stop on page 47, and then we'll do the other half next week, because when I do too much, it's like overwhelming, okay? All right, you guys, here we go. Hey, Dragon Lady, you guys got to go over to Dragon Lady's channel. She made a video about me, and the music that you put on that video, I was crying, girl. Okay, 196 subscribers in the last 30 days. 200 subscribers up, you guys. So thank you so much for everybody who has been like sharing my channel with other people. And just thank you. You have no idea. Like I see it. I see it, you guys. I see the payback. Hey, Bobby. Jerry, I see it, you guys. And I really, really appreciate you guys. It means so much. And I promise, like, I can't wait till we can all meet and have a huge, like, just a big ass steak dinner, like I'll be sitting at the head of the table like I'm freaking Don Corleone from the Mafia or something. Oh God. Okay, I'm getting a little ahead of myself. Work it out, baby. Work it out. Okay. I'm such a nerd. Okay, here we go. We Agnostics. Oh, hey, Krissy. Hey to everybody in the chat. Everyone, I love you all. Okay, here I go. We Agnostics, chapter 4. In the preceding chapters, you have learned something of alcoholism. We hope we have made clear the distinction between the alcoholic and the non-alcoholic. Now here's the distinction. If, when you honestly want to, you find you cannot quit entirely, or if, when drinking, you have little control over the amount you take, you are probably an alcoholic. If that be the case, you may be suffering from an illness which only a spiritual experience will conquer. So, let's read what a spiritual experience is. A spiritual experience is, upon careful reading, shows that the personality change sufficient to bring about recovery from alcoholism has manifested itself among us in many different forms. So a spiritual experience is a total overhauling of the way we think and the way we perceive life. Basically, a personality change sufficient to bring about recovery from alcoholism. Okay? All right. That's what will conquer your alcoholism. To one who feels he is an atheist or agnostic, Such an experience seems impossible. But to continue, as he means disaster, especially if he is an alcoholic of the hopeless variety. To be doomed to an alcoholic death or to live on a spiritual basis are not always easy alternatives to face. But it isn't so difficult. About half our original fellowship were exactly that type. So half the people that first started in AA were agnostic or atheist, you guys. So I'm telling you, if you're letting the fact that God is used in the 12 steps deter you from trying them, I'm telling you, you do not have to let that, because it's not the God that you're thinking of. It's a God of your own conception. But it isn't so difficult. Okay, at first, some of us tried to avoid the issue, hoping against hope we were not true alcoholics. Lord, I know that's right. I would try to avoid that I tried to avoid the first step, admitting that I was powerless over alcohol and drugs, and that my life had become unmanageable. Because heaven forbid, if I had to admit that and I actually came clean, then that meant that I was really an addict and an alcoholic. And that meant that I was going to have to surrender. Because it's like, I don't know what it is, you guys, but you know when you're like finally have to admit it and you're like, hello, my name's Nicole and I'm an addict. Or hello, my name's Nicole and I'm an addict and an alcoholic. Because I'm both, right? It's like when you hear that coming out of your mouth for the first time, you're like, I don't know what it was for me, but it was just like, no! It was like, I already knew it, but it was like just saying it out loud. It was just so difficult for me because it was like I was admitting defeat. That's what it was. It was that I was admitting that I had been defeated. Hold on, you guys. Let me check this damn. Sorry. When I finally admitted that I was an alcoholic and an addict, it was because I was admitting defeat. I was admitting that alcohol and drugs had kicked my behind and that I could not function. I could not live my life taking drugs and alcohol into my body anymore. Drugs and alcohol turned on me, you guys. I wasn't having fun anymore. They were killing me. That's what happened. And that's what happens for all alcoholics and addicts. We get to a point where the drugs, they turn on us and we're no longer benefiting. Like we were never benefiting from drugs and alcohol, but there's a time at the beginning of every alcoholic and addict's life when they're using drugs and alcohol, their little bender, that drugs and alcohol work for them. They are getting relief from those substances. That's why we repeatedly use them over and over again, because we're getting relief. I mean, why else would we sit there and do it, right? We're getting a feeling. We're having the feeling produced by drugs and alcohol is so strong and so euphoric, and we like that feeling so much, right? That we continue to use it, even though we know that it's killing us. Okay. But after a while, we had to face the fact that we must find a spiritual basis of life or else. Perhaps it is going to be that way with you. But cheer up. Something like half of us thought we were atheist or agnostic. Our experience shows that you need not to be disconcerted. If a mere code of morals or a better philosophy of life were sufficient to overcome alcoholism, many of us would have recovered long ago. And I say that to you guys a lot. You know, if it was about the way I was raised or willpower, I would have gotten sober the minute I realized I was out of control, right? Which is a long, long time ago. I continued using and drinking way past the time where I realized I was going downhill because I lost the power of choice. And that's what this is telling me. You can be raised up in the church. I mean, you can be the president of the United States with the greatest manners and the best etiquette and the most amazing family, right? And that's not going to make a difference in if you're an addict or an alcoholic, because morals and values don't have anything to do with the disease of addiction, right? If it was about us lacking morals or values, we would have just went out and got us some morals and values and shook that shit off and been sober, right? We would have recovered a long time ago. But we found that such codes and philosophies did not save us, no matter how much we tried. We could wish to be moral. We could wish to be philosophically comforted. In fact, we could will these things with all of our might. But the needed power wasn't there. Our human resources, as marshaled by will, were not sufficient. They failed us utterly. Our own will does not work. We cannot get sober on willpower alone. Okay? Try it. Try it. I've done it so many times. White-knuckled it. Locked myself in a house, you guys, and didn't leave. Because that's what I thought I had to do. I thought, I can't stay sober. I just need to never leave my house. Well, let me just tell you, the minute I finally left my house, I was down at the dope man's house. Lack of power, that was our dilemma. Lack of power, that was our dilemma. We had to find a power by which we could live. And it had to be a power greater than ourselves. Obviously, but where and how were we to find this power? Where or how were we to find this power? Okay? This book is about finding your higher power. Not Nicole's not higher power. Not everybody else in the world's higher power. Not everybody else's conception of a higher power. It's specific to you. Okay? It's time for you. Well, that's exactly what this book is about. Its main objective, now this is important, let's underline this. This book's main objective is to enable you to find a power greater than yourself, which will solve your problem. That means we have written a book which we believe to be spiritual as well as moral. And it means, of course, that we are going to talk about God. Here, difficulty arises with the agnostic. Hey, Mama. You guys, that's my mom in the chat, Gina DeMeo. Say hi to her. Okay, so right now, you guys, we're fixing to talk about God, and we're going to explain to you in this book how, we know that this can bring about difficulty to people that are agnostic or atheists. So let's talk about it. Here, difficulty arises with the agnostic. Many times we talk to a new man and watch his hope rise as we discuss his alcoholic problem and explain our fellowship. But his face falls when we speak of spiritual matters, especially when we mention God, for we have reopened a subject which our man thought he had neatly evaded or entirely ignored. We know how he feels. We have shared his honest doubt and prejudice. Some of us have been violently anti-religious. To others, the word God brought up a particular idea of him with which someone had tried to impress them during childhood. Okay, so this is exactly where I can relate. Because the way I was raised up, and you can ask my mom, she's in the chat. When we were younger, my mom, she was an amazing mom. You guys, my mom is such a good parent. But we were in a church where the rules were so strict and rigid. Women were only supposed to, we couldn't cut our hair. We couldn't wear makeup. We had to wear, dresses that were past our knees and past our elbows. No earrings. I mean, nothing that you could make yourself feel beautiful with. I mean, just very modesty overkill, okay? And so, as a young girl, I can remember feeling so different from all the other kids because I was the only kid that had to wear dresses to school all the time, And the kids knew that I was different from them, and they would make fun of me for that, Okay. So perhaps we rejected this particular conception because it seemed inadequate. With that rejection, we imagined we had abandoned the God idea entirely. We were bothered with the thought that faith and dependence upon a power beyond ourselves was somewhat weak, even cowardly. What are you doing, Bubba?
What are they saying?
You want to ask Nana? She says hi. Okay, you got to be still and be quiet while I read.
I don't have to listen.
Oh, here we go again. Come on. Come on. I'm not going to do this on camera with you. Go. Go. Thank you. Sit in here and play with your blocks. You're fine. You can play with your blocks right here. Okay? Okay. He's going to play with his blocks right there, y'all. Okay. So, we were bothered with the thought that faith and dependence upon a power beyond ourselves was somewhat weak, even cowardly. We looked upon this world of warning individuals, wearing theological systems and inexplicable calamity with deep skepticism. We looked askance at many individuals who claimed to be godly. How could a supreme being have anything to do with it all? And who could comprehend a supreme being anyhow? Yet in other moments, we found ourselves thinking, when enchanted by a starlit night, who then made all of this? There was a feeling of awe and wonder, but it was fleeting and soon lost. Yes, we of agnostic temperament have had these experiences. Let us make haste to reassure you. We found that as soon as we were able to lay aside prejudice and express even a willingness to believe in a power greater than ourselves, we commenced to get results, even though it was impossible for any of us to fully define or comprehend that power. Okay? So right here it's telling you, if you're an alcoholic or you're an addict and you are agnostic or atheist. Hey, Cindy. Hey, Mama. Hey, everybody that just joined the chat. Welcome, welcome, welcome. If you are atheist or agnostic and you are struggling with, 12 steps, all it is about is God. You have to believe in God to get the 12 steps. I want you to know that you don't. All you have to do is have the willingness to believe in a power that's greater than you. That power could be your group, right? You could go to AA meetings and have a huge group of people, right? 50 people in your AA meeting. Maybe that's your home group. And you could dub that home group, those 50 people, that's a power that's greater than you, okay? It's just about the willingness to believe in a power greater than yourself. It's about stepping outside of your own self-will and your own ego and pride, okay? And following the suggestions of someone else who has walked the road before you, okay? So they can help guide you in your recovery. That's what this is about. You don't have to go to church. You don't have to do backflips on the altar and speak in tongues. I mean, none of that, you guys. I'm going to tell you, when I first got into recovery, I was so far away from my higher power. I hadn't talked to my higher power in years. In fact, I had come to the determination that he abandoned me, and I didn't want to have nothing to do with him. Okay?
So uncomfortable.
Your daddy's on his way here.
I just feel so uncomfortable and stuff.
Why? Okay. Okay, so I had just gotten to this point where I was like, you know what? My higher power doesn't love me. I don't believe in it. He's did away with me. You know, he's abandoned me, and that's that, right? What's wrong, son? So, when I got sober, it was really hard for me to come to believe in a power greater than myself again, you guys, because I was at war with myself. I was fighting a battle inside myself. Okay, and so that's what addiction is. It's a battle within you. It's good against evil, right? It's yourself against it's your higher self against your other self, your worldly self, right? It's like two different parts of you, and that's what addicts are. We're like double personalities, you know? You gonna go play the blocks? What's wrong? What do you mean you feel uncomfortable?
I just like feel weird.
What?
I don't know what I feel like.
Like anxious?
I don't know.
Explain it to me.
I don't know what I feel like.
Do you feel happy? Okay. Do you feel mad? Do you feel sad? Do you feel annoyed? Do you feel like nervous? Do you feel like you want your daddy to be home?
I feel sad with my dad.
Sad? Why?
Wait,
You have so many people here that love you.
how's my shirt green?
It's green. That's what color it is.
No, how's it blue actually?
I don't know. Well, let's read the story, okay?
What?
So, okay. Much to our relief, we discovered we did not need to consider another's conception of God.
Yay.
This is where it talks about your own conception. Our own conception, however inadequate.
I just want to play with
Please stop. If you want to sit here, you can sit here, but you have to be still.
Can I sit down? I'm not going to play with your phone.
Okay.
Only the computer.
Not the computer.
Only the computer. I just want to sit down.
There, Nate. You're about to get a spanking. Okay. Much to our relief, we discovered we did not need to consider another's conception of God. Our own conception, however inadequate, was sufficient to make the approach and to effect a contact with Him. As soon as we admitted the possible existence of a creative intelligence, a spirit of the universe underlying the totality of things, we began to be possessed of a new sense of power and direction, providing we took other simple steps. We found that God does not make too hard terms with those who seek Him. To us, the realm of spirit is broad, roomy, all-inclusive, never exclusive, or forbidding to those who earnestly seek. Shh.
I'll pick you.
Shh.
I'm
reading. Shh.
I'm not even making noise.
Hush. It is open, we believe, to all men. So, I just want to keep on reiterating, like, your higher power is your higher power. And just because this word G-O-D is in here, God, I don't even want you to focus on God. I want you to focus on good, orderly direction. That's how it was explained to me. So if you are like, nope, Nicole, I don't believe in God, I'm not hearing you, no way. Good, orderly direction, okay? Because that's what we're all seeking, right? When we're in active addiction, we are out of balance.
I'm going to pick your YouTube channel.
We're all over the place, right? And so we're seeking good, orderly direction. We need direction in our life. We need guidance in our life. We need a plan of action. And so that's what we're working towards in sobriety.
I'm watching Combo Panda that does not even make noise.
Okay. So if you're struggling with the God concept, you guys, just hear me out. Please understand that you do not have to believe in God to do the 12 steps. And listen, if you don't want to do the 12 steps, that's okay. You don't have to do the 12 steps. I just want you guys to have every option that there is to find recovery, okay? And that's why I'm sharing this with you guys. Let me see what you're saying, girl, because I can't. Thank you for reading. My 2 sons and I just went through a traumatic experience, and I have yet to see my texts made it through. You are making a difference, and I seriously thank you. Hey, Ash, what's up, girl? Oh, yes. This text right here in this book, if you'll go on to, we usually have, where's Sonia at? Is Sonia in the chat? Sonia, are you here? My girl Sonia usually prints all the readings out for us, but I don't know if she's in here tonight. But, yes, honey, if you'll go and look up Alcoholics Anonymous, big book, page 47, that's what page we're on right now. Okay? Welcome to the family, Ash. You're welcome here. We got a whole family of people that will welcome you in. Just get to know the girls in the chat. We're all here for you. I got moderators. If you want to link up with them, they'll tell you everything you need to know. But this is just a community of addicts and alcoholics who are, trying to stay sober one day at a time. And if you're a mother or a father of an addict, you're welcome here. If you're someone who's trying to learn about the disease of addiction because it's somehow affecting you in your life, maybe a loved one, you're welcome here. Like, I want you guys to know that all are welcome here. Okay? We will help you and we will love you until you can love yourself, and we will help teach you and guide you if you're needing to learn about the disease of addiction. Shh. Hey, why don't you go upstairs and watch that? Okay?
I'm not even making loud noise.
You need to quit being sassy.
I'm not making loud noise.
Okay.
Though.
So we're going to go down to the bottom of page 47. Okay, guys, here we go. When, therefore, we speak to you of God, we mean, and this is what they're saying, this is what they mean when they say God, your own conception of God. So every time you hear me say something about my God, I want you guys to realize that I'm not trying to put my God on you. I want you to find your own higher power, okay? Whatever that may be, okay? Okay. This applies too to other spiritual expressions which you find in this book. Do not let any prejudice you may have against spiritual terms deter you from honestly asking yourself what they mean to you. At the start, this was all we needed to commence spiritual growth, to affect our conscious relation with God as we understood Him. Afterward, we found ourselves accepting many things which then seemed entirely out of reach. That was growth. But if we wished to grow, we had to begin somewhere. Okay? If we wish to grow, we have to begin somewhere. So we used our own conception, however limited it was. We needed to ask ourselves but one short question. Do I now believe...
Should I pick? I'm not doing
Nate, hush. This is important when I'm reading. Why don't you listen? We needed to ask ourselves but one short question. Do I now believe, or am I even willing to believe, that there is a power greater than myself?
Don't want your mommy.
As soon as a man can say that he does believe, or is willing to believe, we emphatically assure him that he is on his way. All you have to do is be willing to believe in a power that's greater than you. How many of you guys can admit, if you don't believe in God, that there's some power, whether it's a spirit or the universe or nature or I don't know, that there's something out there that's greater than me, right? Than little old me. I truly believe that. There's some things out there, and that thing has got me my back. You know what I mean? That thing is watching out for me. I truly believe that. It's helping guide me on my journey. Because the way my life has gone and the decisions I've made and the brushes with death and the overdoses I've had, you guys, I'm a miracle that I'm even alive. That I'm even here able to put together sentences and talk to you guys today. Do you understand? And that's what helps me to understand it and believe it. Because I'm here talking to you, and that is what it is all about. If I'm here talking and saying words, my son is sitting there, and he's able to talk and say words. My son is a miracle, you guys. You know, when I gave birth to my son, I was not in the right place. I was in a very bad place. I was very intoxicated, and I was just not in a good place. And my son is a miracle. And so that's how I know. That's how I know something is out there that's watching over me. That's how I know that there's a power that's greater than me. And that's why I'm willing to believe in that, you know, because I've seen that power protect me over the years that I have abused drugs and alcohol and made horrible decisions for my life and the lives of people that are affected by me. Okay. Sorry, guys. It has been repeatedly proven among us that upon this simple cornerstone, a wonderfully effective spiritual structure can be built. That was great news to us, for we had assumed we could not make use of spiritual principles unless we accepted many things on faith which seemed difficult to believe. When people presented us with spiritual approaches, how frequently did we all say, "I wish I had what that man has. I'm sure it would work if I could only believe as he believes. But I cannot accept as surely true the many articles of faith which are so plain to him. So it was comforting to learn that we could commence at a simpler level." Hey, girl. I know. You need to call me, sister. So basically, and we're going to stop there so that way. So next week, we're going to start at the top of page 48, you guys. So don't forget. So basically, a lot of the times, you guys, when we're trying to get sober and we're seeking help, we will make things a lot more difficult than they really are. Okay? We will read or analyze things. And a lot of addicts and alcoholics, we do that. Because, which is so dumbfounding. Like, it's so crazy to me because all those years I was shooting dope, I didn't inspect my dope like that. I was just like, give it to me, put it in me. But now that I'm trying to get sober, I'm going to be all thorough and stuff, you know? It's like, keep it, they say this for a reason, and I know you guys probably have heard it a million times. Keep it simple. Don't overanalyze the program. Don't pick it apart. Don't think that you're so unique, because that's something that I did for a long time. I thought I was so much different than all of you guys. You guys couldn't ever understand what I've been through, right? My addiction is like so much worse than any of you guys could ever understand, right? That kept me from getting recovery for a long time because I was setting myself apart from you guys, right? And so now that I finally accepted that you guys know what I'm going through. Y'all have been through the same thing. And that support and love that I get from people who are also in recovery has been paramount to my recovery, you guys. Crucial. It has changed my life. The recovery community that we have built here on Real Talk Recovery has changed my life. I went into my email today to check to see, if any of you guys had emailed me. And a young lady named Marissa emailed me. Shout out, Marissa. What's up, girl? I see you. And she emailed me and she said that she found my channel and that she was so grateful that last night she had a, very, very hard time and she had some temptation. And what she did when she had the temptation was she came over here to the channel and she put a video on. So instead of relapsing, she watched one of the videos and got strength from that. And reading her email today, I literally almost cried in the middle of the work. Because I never, ever thought in a million years that I would be able to help anybody else. Ever, ever. And now what's happening is I'm getting emails from you guys. And you're saying, please don't ever stop making your videos. Your videos are helping me. You guys gotta understand. I go through my mind a lot and I think, am I making a difference? Are my videos getting, are they getting heard? Do people understand? I think maybe my message is getting, overturned. People aren't hearing it. But then I get these emails from you guys, and I know you guys are hearing me. I know you are. I promise you, when I was in my active addiction, you guys, my life was upside down. I lived every day to use drugs. I lived every day to change the way I felt. I couldn't live my life without sticking a needle in my arm every single day. The guilt and shame that I felt due to my addiction was so overwhelming that every morning when I woke up, I couldn't live my life sober because the guilt and shame just overwhelmed me. The pain and the agony and the defeat just overwhelmed me. So I just kept on piling it up. And then when my son was born, I tried so hard to do better, and I failed miserably. And then God came and changed my life forever, and if my son hadn't been taken from me when he was, you guys, I probably wouldn't even be alive today. Hey, Casey, what's up? my life I wouldn't be here, you guys. It took some really drastic situations, drastic measures to get my attention, to wake me up out of this fog of addiction, right? The addiction and the whole pattern and the using and getting high and then covering up my feelings and then searching for drugs and using and getting high again and covering up my feelings. It had become it was my freaking life. It was a second nature, right? It was second nature for me to get high. It was what I lived to do. You know, I was no longer living my life. I was no longer, like, I couldn't even manage. I was barely making it, you know? And if it wasn't for my son being born and the state stepping in and taking him from me to wake me up, that's what had to happen. I had to be woke up because I had just gotten into this horrible, lonely pattern of just living my life to use drugs, and that's all I did. That's all I did. And so I'm going to tell you what, you guys. Now I live my life to take care of my son and my husband and to help other people. It is literally the opposite of what I was like in active addiction. When I was in active addiction, I didn't give a damn about anybody, especially not anyone else, like anybody outside of me. All I cared about was myself. Serious racing crash. Been on opiates 8 years. The pills are making me so sick. Hey, Casey. Are they making you sick because, like, you're addicted to them? Or are you just dependent on them and you are sick and tired of taking them? Or, like, explain, honey. Explain. Because, you can always change and get off of them, honey. You can, listen to me, you guys. I want y'all to hear me. If you're on opiates and you're sick and tired of being on opiates, you can get off of them. You can do it. Okay? It's gonna suck. It's gonna be uncomfortable. Withdrawal is not fun, but you can do it. Okay? And if you have pain and you just you can get off of an opiate and get on something like Suboxone or methadone that helps with your pain, okay? If you have chronic pain. I know a lot of people who have chronic pain who are on Suboxone, you guys, and it saved their life. But you have to have the will to fight for your recovery. You can't just tap out. You know what I'm saying? You can't let opiates kick your ass. You got to take your life back. You can change. If you want to do this, I promise you, you can do it. I cannot tell you guys, like I said in my last video, how many times I have been in withdrawal in my life. It was something I was in all day, every day, for a long time. When Neil first got together, you guys, we were just a mess. And all we did was get high and withdraw. Get high, withdraw. And it was not fun. But I'm here to tell you that if you want to, you can do it. Okay? It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be comfortable. Okay? But if you talk with your doctor and you let them know, they can help you. They can get you on some comfort meds that'll make it a little bit easier when you transition. Okay? You just have to get the strength up to make that decision. Because that's what this is all about. Each and every one of us comes to a turning point in our addiction. Okay? Or whatever, in our addiction. Where we either are going to stay in addiction or we're going to make the damn decision and change. And that turning point right there, that is a pivotal moment for every addict and alcoholic. Okay? Which way are you going to choose? Are you going to choose life? Are you going to choose death? Okay? That's just basically what it is. Are you going to choose life? Are you going to be miserable? Or are you going to choose death? You know? Every morning with like withdrawals, they made me... Oh, God, Casey. Yeah, dude, listen to me. I was shooting Roxy's, okay? Shooting Roxy's for years. All day, every day, baby. Roxy's, Dilaudid, and morphine. And you can do this. Go to your doctor and tell him, you know what, Casey? I bet you, if you came off of half of the medication that you're on right now, if you came off just half of that, I bet you'd feel better. Right? Tell your doctor you want to taper on some of that stuff. Okay? But you're going to have pain. And if either you want to, face the pain and deal with that in another way with like physical therapy or, massage therapist. I mean, something. Because here's the thing, and that's the point that I had gotten to with opiates, is they were no longer giving me that energy. They were no longer making me feel good. I was just barely getting a fucking high from them because my body was so dependent on them. The feelings, right? Okay, Derek, I'll see you later. I'll be over there on your channel to watch your next video. Thank you so much for coming over here, and you're welcome over here anytime. I know you're not in recovery, but we got a good family over here. We accept everybody. Yeah, it's going to be hard, you guys. It's going to be difficult, Casey. But that's the thing. Like, you look, by your picture, you look like you're young. I mean, you got it in you. Bless you, too. Right. So, Casey, this is what you do. You go to your doctor and you ask them to start titrating you down. You ask them to start titrating you down. Follow me on Twitter, Dragon Lady. At Nicole DeMeo / Real Talk Recovery. You guys all need to follow me on Instagram and my Twitter, okay? So that way we can talk outside of my YouTube channel. And if you really, really want to talk, all you have to do is email me and I'll send you my cell phone number and we can talk for real. I just don't put it up here because there's trolls and stuff. But if you reach out to me privately, I'll give it to you. Yeah, you can't taper on your own. It's almost impossible to do it because your mind, it's hard because it's like psychologically, you guys, when you're dependent on opiates like that, it's really difficult to do it on your own. If you can get somebody to help you with it, listen, Kate, I'm tapering off Suboxone, okay? I've been on it for 3.5 years. I'm down from 12 milligrams to 8 milligrams. And then in August, I'll go back and go down some more. But my doctor's taking those milligrams away. So I can't take them because then I would run out early. Do you understand? So you go to your doctor and you say, Doc, I'm not happy with the way my life is. I feel like I'm just a vegetable. I feel like I'm unmotivated. The opiates have turned on me and I'm no longer getting, the relief that I need, and I'm unhappy and I don't want to be hooked to these medications anymore. Okay? And you talk to your doctor about it. If you have chronic pain, I'm telling you, Casey, he could take you from those and put you on something else that may help with your pain. Like I'm saying, and I know a lot of people are like, no, okay, love you guys. Love you, Reaper Man. Love you, Dragon Lady. If you are on high dosages of opiates and you are going to be on opiates for the rest of your life and you have chronic pain, get off those fucking opiates and get on Suboxone, because it's a longer acting opioid and it also has the blocker in it, so you can't go out and get anything else in you, right? And like I said, it's something that when you wake up in the morning, you're not going to be in withdrawal, Casey. Okay? Suboxone has a 37-hour half-life. So when you wake up in the morning, you're not going to be in withdrawal. Shoot, you can wake up in the morning, not take anything, and wait until the second morning, and you still probably won't be in withdrawal. Okay? And it helps for people who are on opiates and who maybe can't get off, right? I mean, it has helped me so much, and now I'm able to live my life. I'm working on tapering, and that's a huge accomplishment for me. So do not feel ashamed. Do not feel like you're alone. This decision is in your hands, okay? You just got to do it, and you can do it. And you got all of our support over here. So keep coming around. Don't flake out on us. We're on here. When do we come on, you guys? Every Sunday, Tuesday, and Friday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Okay, Angel. That's when we have live streams. Every Sunday, Tuesday, and Friday. 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. And you can catch me in between because y'all know how I am. Sometimes I go live and do my makeup and blah, 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 blah. So, yeah. This is a community of addicts and alcoholics. We want to support each other. We want to help each other do the next right thing. So if you're struggling and you need help, come on with it. Join the family. Okay, what else do we need to talk about, you guys? Did you guys enjoy that chapter so far? I'm really, like, where is Sonia? I'm worried about my girl Sonia. Does the Suboxone help with the withdrawals? I rather feel the pain. My friends have noticed I am not coming around. Georgia, California, lost my drugs, was sick as hell. Casey, absolutely it does. Yes. Actually, if you go to your doctor today and you say, Doc, I met this chick online. She's on Suboxone. She told me about it. And explain to him what you're with all the medications that you're on. And what they'll do is, what you have to do is, you'll have to not take your other medications and go and for 24 hours. So when you wake up the next morning, you'll be in withdrawal. And then you take the Suboxone, kicks the withdrawal right out. At all. You will have no, and all you will have to take is that one pill. But that's the thing. Like, you have to understand that you're going to be going from these other opiates to an opioid. But the reason why I always tell people about Suboxone is because it's something that you can take and it will help you better than what those other medications are, you know? And you can get involved in a recovery community, and we're all, like, I'm on Suboxone, Amber's on Suboxone, Krissy's on Suboxone. How many people are on Suboxone that are in here? Put a 1 in the chat. We're all on medically assisted treatment. And like I said, I wouldn't be sober today if I hadn't gotten on it. I would still be banging dope. Real talk. So it helps a lot. And so if that's something that, you know, you're struggling with, that might help you, you know? If that's why if that's why you don't want to get off opiates is because you're going to be the withdrawal and everything, then I mean that's an option, Suboxone, because you won't go with your withdrawal. The minute you start withdrawing, you take that Suboxone and it'll save your butt for real. Yeah, Krissy's on it. And so, see, and that's the thing, you guys, like, I'm so glad that we have so many people here who are, like, we're all just trying to support each other, you know? If you're on Suboxone, there's no shame. If you're on methadone, there's no shame. Like, each person has to do what's best for them and their body. And that's why it's so important for us, you guys, to not judge other people's journey, okay? So, anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed tonight's live stream. I know I did. We had a bunch of new people in here tonight. Welcome to everybody, for real. Yeah, if you go to a pain clinic, Casey, I'm sure if you go in there, they can tell you about Suboxone. And it might really be something that could help you. I mean, seriously. And then you would just be taking one thing. It could change your life. I've seen it happen for many people who were just living their lives chained to all these pills, right? Muscle relaxers, opiates, benzos, all kinds of stuff. And then they got on Suboxone. They started going to meetings and getting into some kind of like therapy, and it changed their life. And now they're living their lives happy and free, you know? So don't get discouraged, all right? Stick around. Subscribe to the channel. If you're new, you guys, don't just fucking come in here and watch the videos. Subscribe. We're on our way, okay? Real Talk Recovery, you guys. By the end of this year, I don't know what I want to be, but by the end of this year, I want to be at a point where I want us to be to a point where we can really do some stuff over on this channel, because we're building Real Talk Recovery, you guys, and we're gonna get out there and we're gonna reach new addicts. That's the whole point, is to reach as many addicts as we can and get these people and pull them in and show them, hey, you're not alone. We love you, and you can be a part of Real Talk Recovery. Okay? Okay. I'm acting like a saleswoman now. Really though. I love you guys, and you guys know it's my passion doing these big book studies with you guys. I absolutely love it. I hope everybody kind of understands now that the 12 steps, you don't have to believe in Jesus Christ to do the 12 steps. That all you have to do is be willing to believe in a power greater than yourself. Okay? All right. Bye, guys.